Today we are going to be looking at how to create our own original artwork pieces to where we don't copy off of somebody else's artwork or copy off of someone else's photo that you see in a magazine, things like that. So let's get started, and hopefully by the end of this video, and along with the reading that you did, make sure you did your assigned reading, okay, that you fully have all the tools to create your own piece of artwork that is totally yours, totally original. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of different ways to do this. We'll look at actually looking at nature and things that are real life outside or inside, and then we'll look at, we're also going to be looking at how to do it from images and photos and pictures. So the first one, I looked through a bunch of these magazines and I want to do a tropical background. So I have found some images that I like. I like this one. It shows some of the right side of an image. I like the rocks and stuff here and the highlights, the white. I like the tree. I also found this one. I like all the foliage that's up here that takes up all this space in the front. And I do like the coastline here. You don't see as much of it in this one. And I also really liked this picture of a little shack thing that's up on stilts and stuff, little surf house. And I also liked these mountains that are back here. So, and the clouds are really cool too. These other images don't have any clouds in them, but this one does. So I can use a combination of these to create a piece of artwork. So let's do that real quick and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so here's an image that I came up with. I incorporated the rocks here on this side. You can see them right there. I put some of the trees on the other side. I really liked all the flowery areas here, so I put that right up here to cover up some of this area here. So this is in the most foreground, this is closest to me. Then the trees, and then this rock area would be next. I put the house. It's from a different perspective, but I'm going to still use it as a reference, and I'll put that over here. And I put the mountains, of course, they're back here in the back. And I can use these images as references when I paint this or shade it and put all the color in here to kind of see how it looks. And I have used all of these different references to make my own original piece of artwork here. Here also, this is one of mine. This is one of the books that I illustrated, the front and the back here in watercolor. And I did the same thing with this. I found a tree that I used as a reference for this part. Found a couple images of mist and things to use for this, so I could kind of figure out how to make mist. I used a couple of different paths to create a path that had a lighted area in the back. And I took a separate picture of someone in a cloak and someone else that was riding, and I did several pictures of horses walking away to combine them in a way that would make that horse. And I also use references here for the color of the ground and things like this to get it correct. So references are very important, and you can just use a bunch of images like this. But you can also use references from outside, and we'll look at that in just a minute. Let's say I want to do some wood for one of my images. I want to do a piece of wood. So what I can do is I can go and find some reference images, which would be actual images. Okay, these, because we already did the actual pictures and stuff. So I have the pieces of wood here. You have your drawing tablet here. And what you're going to do is you're going to just pick some images and you're going to sketch these out. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so here's one of my pieces of wood. I sketched this one right here, okay? And it doesn't have to be, completely exact, because you're just getting some reference images here. And you're gonna look at things, and of course this over here I thought was really cool, how the end of the wood did that, so I included that. And so let's go get another couple of pieces of wood. Okay, so here's some more wood that I found. We have a bunch of wood right here, and this shows, whereas this one was the outside of the wood, it had the bark and stuff, this one is the actual inside. So I'm gonna draw one of these so I can have a reference image of that as well. Okay, so here's a quick sketch, and I sketched this one, and some of the things that I kind of picked up on was this broken piece right here, and the fact that at the very bottom you can see the bark down here, so that's a little darker, but also there's different shades within this piece. You have some lighter areas here and then a darker area here. So I made this down here a little bit darker to show the variances of the values in this one piece of wood. And so let's try one more. We have some big pieces of wood. I want to go look at those. Okay, so this piece is really cool. I like this piece. This has a lot of different things on it. You can see the actual wood here. It also has all the bark around it, and it has some moss growing on it and some of the knobs. So I'm gonna do a little sketch of this one and see how that turns out. Okay, so here's my sketch that I did of this one, and of course I'm up here a little higher. One of the things I did like that I learned from this sketch, because every time you do a sketch you should learn something from it, is that instead of just drawing a log like this, around the bottom like a cylinder here, we can put maybe a piece that comes out or something. Instead of just doing this log has variances in its shape up here. It is a cylinder, but look at the difference. Okay, this is what makes this look so much more organic, and this one looks more like a cup or something. Okay, and this actually gives it more of a log look. And also the sides are not just completely straight. Look at this, it goes out a little bit, it comes in. There's variances in the shape of this. Okay, and actually, I mean, they're all in different forms. You notice this isn't a perfect circle up here. This one more so than the other ones, because it has this place right over here that comes out, and it's just not totally symmetrical, which makes it look cool. So you want to pick up on all of those things. The bottom even, it's not completely round, so I kind of did a little bit of I added a little bit more variance to mine than what this actually had, but I like it and I'm satisfied with that. Okay, now that you've gotten all of your drawings, the idea here, similar to the tropical picture that we created from lots of different pictures that we found, you can use, this is kind of like a drawing study, like a study that over wood, since that's our subject matter. And I would have all these, and I would look at these and find different aspects that I liked about them and combine them into one piece. For example, if I like this crack and I like the fact that this is standing straight up, I can take this and maybe cut it out, and I can include a piece here and also some of the lines, but they'll just be vertical instead of horizontal. And I can have even a piece that is kind of cut out like that, you know, sticking off to the side. So I can include all these aspects into one image that I have created from my mind through doing these studies. Now you say, okay, what's the point if that piece of wood is not copyrighted, so why can't I just draw that one piece of wood I like? Well, you can. But the point of this assignment is to be able to create something from your imagination. So you want to practice a little bit, draw some things that give you a good idea of how the object is made and formed, and then create one on your own. For example, if we were going to draw a cat. Here's a cat. Now, I would draw some pictures of her from this perspective, probably from this perspective, do some of her from behind, and then all together we would have a lot of practice images, and we could create something from our imagination.